Tommy,
What's up, man?
good evening.
Oh, man. It's a special one. It's a special evening.
Guess what, Tommy?
What's up?
This is episode 100.
Jesus.
Hold on.
100. I get some poppers.
Woo! Episode 100 is in the books.
That's crazy. That's
Oh,
crazy to think
man.
about.
Are you ready, man? We'll talk
I
about
am,
100
man.
episodes. Are you ready to get this started?
Let's get it, man. I think we got to start off with a little music, though.
Let's go.
Are you ready?
Agility from the champion. Oh, deep six! That could be a delivered this deep
This is our 100th Aftermath Pro Wrestling Podcast episode. I'm joined by Tommy. Tommy, how you doing, man?
I'm pushing through, man.
How your Broncos doing? Are
No,
they
no,
trying to
we
push through?
No, we don't need to talk about that.
Oh
We
man.
don't need to talk about that. No, I woke up not feeling the best, but we're here, man. Yeah, episode 100.
This is episode 100. We are finally here. For those of you guys that are watching, thank you so much for joining as we wait for a couple people to pile on in here. But we are the Aftermath Pro Wrestling Podcast. If you're not watching on YouTube, we're also available on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, iHeartRadio, and more. Make sure you are subscribed. Share this with your friends and your family. Get the word out there that we are here. Episode 100 is right now going full force. And let me tell you, not many wrestling podcasts last even
Not
50
100.
episodes.
Yeah, man.
Even
We're at
50. But
100.
we are at 100. It took
And that's
us
just the
2.5
numbered
years to get
episodes.
to this point.
Yeah, that's just the numbered episodes, though. We've done a lot more with
Yep.
watch alongs and reactions and all that stuff. So yeah, man, it's been a crazy ride.
By the way, this year we have a year in the review episode coming. So we will talk about this year's big headlines. I felt like this year was definitely worth doing a year in a review episode. All the major news headlines. We will talk about our favorite, like a wrestler, male wrestler of the year, female wrestler of the year, match of the year, and so forth. So look for that. That will be at the end of the year, our last episode of the year, last week of Christmas. We will jump on that. So be on the lookout for that. The 2022 year in review. I can't believe this year is over. But my gosh. And how about my Washington Commanders, by the way?
Dude, stop it.
The hottest
God.
team in the NFL right now, winning 6 of the last 7 games. Nobody's talking about it much because they are 7-5 and they had a crappy
Now
one.
keep in mind that Wade used to be a Jets fan before, and now he's just switching teams, and now he's a Commanders fan.
Yes, this is the first year of the Commanders franchise, so I figured this would be a good year to start. They started 2-5. Carson Wentz was on the ground, laying down on the field the whole entire time. He's laying down more on his back than he's on his feet. Every single drive that Washington Commanders had, 3 and out. Every single drive, 3 and out. So Commanders have definitely been moving the ball a lot better since they got some players back, and since they are playing behind Taylor Heineke. So this Commanders are 6-1 since Heineke took over. So very excited. We'll see where it goes from there. But we have some wrestling to talk about.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
So we are coming off the heels of WWE Survivor Series, in which was a very good show. This show was kind of sort of slapped together at the last minute, but not really, because we kind of had an idea for about 6 weeks prior to WWE Survivor Series that we were going to get Bloodline versus the Brutes, and then whoever the other 2 guys were going to be. So they've been kind of building into it for a little bit. The build towards Survivor Series on the women's side kind of was building within the last 3-4 weeks, with the Damage Control feuding with Alexa Bliss, Asuka, and Belair since SummerSlam. So it's really been building since SummerSlam if you really think about it. But anyhow, we had that going on. So we had some good matches there. I felt like this match was booked with importance. The event felt important going into it, and it certainly felt even more important after the show was over. So Tommy, what are your thoughts on SummerSlam, WWE Survivor Series, rather, before we jump right into it?
Yeah, I think you hit it on the head. This show kind of felt important for the first time in a long time. It seemed like, gosh, maybe since 2014 was the last time that Survivor Series like actually felt big. So yeah, man, it was good. There was a lot of excitement around the show, and I think it delivered too.
Yeah, it delivered very well. I mean, the wrestling action was the in-ring work was good. There was some stuff that was not good on the show, which we'll talk about. But
I'm looking at you, Rhonda.
yeah, the in-ring action was basically good for the most part. Storytelling for the War Games on the men's side was amazing. So let's jump right into it. We had the women's War Game match featuring Bianca Belair, Becky Lynch, Alexa Bliss, Asuka, and who am I forgetting? Oh, this is horrible. Bianca Belair, Becky Lynch, Alexa Bliss, Asuka, and God, help me out here. I think you're muted, Tommy.
I don't know either, man. Now you're just saying names, and who was the fifth person?
Mia Yim. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And the funny thing is, when I was typing up this article today, writing a quick review of the WWE Survivor Series, I was forgetting who that fifth person was.
Well,
So
it's not like she kind of seemed like the only person who didn't really get a big spot. So
no, she didn't. And they took on Damage Control, Rhea Ripley, and Nikki Cross. Nikki Cross and Rhea Ripley, which were added on to this feud like the last within the last 2 weeks of the pay-per-view. Very good match here. I love the action, the weapons. We see spots from Becky Lynch, how she closed off the match with her jumping off the top of the cage to the table, and that's how that match ended. We also see Nikki Cross doing a crossbody from the top of the cage at one point. And we also saw her bringing in some weapons, so I thought that was cool. We got trash cans, garbage lids, kendo sticks. Oh my. And it was just it was a really, really good match. I felt like these women worked hard. Couple botched spots that I was even noticing before. I had Survivor Series on behind me. I don't know if you guys can see. No, you guys can't see. But I was just watching and I noticed there were a couple spots. So like there was this one spot with Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss, struggling for the handcuffs. I mean, the way they were struggling in the corner with the handcuffs, Alexa Bliss may as well should have just let her put the handcuffs on. Like, that was just ridiculous. But that turned into a botch spot with Alexa Bliss suplexing Nikki off the corner. Well, no, not suplexing, but Nikki was on Alexa's shoulders, and then she did the backdrop, falling back, and they kind of messed up that garbage can spot. That was really the only spot that I really noticed that they kind of messed up on. Nothing too big. So Mia Yim, she kind of came out to crickets. Alexa Bliss was kind of just there. So like the match was really focused around Bianca Belair, Becky Lynch, getting their moves in. And so what did you think of this?
Yeah, I thought it was great to start off the show. I think you get the crowd hype. Same thing I expect to see with Elimination Chamber and Royal Rumble. Just start the show off. They might do it differently for Royal Rumble just because I don't know, they like to do a title match before, but I like this match. I thought it was fast. It was really fast paced. Going off the botches. Obviously, we're so accustomed to seeing so much wrestling that it's easier for us to point out that didn't look right. That could have been done better. I think the thing is, especially with this kind of setup, you got two rings. Obviously, somebody's going to get stuck, trying to get over in between, those, there's obviously 10 people in the ring. So it's a lot of, trying to find the right time to get your spot, not hit a weapon, that's laying down. Obviously we saw like you mentioned, there was just tons of weapons in this match. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think you hit it on the head. It kind of seemed like Mia Yim or Michian, whatever. And that's the one thing. They don't know what to call her. They keep going back and forth. But it seemed like her and Alexa, I don't know, didn't really have any big major spots. I guess you could point to the handcuff thing with Alexa because of her past with Nikki. But I really enjoyed this. I'm always a fan of Green Mist spot. Rhea Ripley taking the Green Mist from Asuka.
Oh yeah,
perfect.
let me tell you, Asuka's just like she's amazing when she's in her striking mode.
Yeah,
like when she was doing some strikes the other night, I was like, wow, this is pretty freaking awesome. Like,
so would you agree with me? We have to see her versus Io at WrestleMania.
I'm not too sure if it's going to happen at Mania.
Oh,
I mean, they could very well do that much sooner. They could probably do it on like a Raw.
You
Rumble.
Can't waste that match on a Raw. Come on, Wayne. You know better than that.
I mean, it's just the fact that, and I agree, it's just the fact that WrestleMania is still a couple months away. 4 months away, I think we're looking at, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see, January, February, March, April. So we're about 4 months away, exactly. I'm not too sure how you get there, if you kind of keep them away for a little while, or I'm not too sure.
4 months.
How you get there?
4 months from Mania and 4 months from my birthday. Not that anybody's counting.
Is it a WrestleMania worthy match? Sure. They would tear it up.
I just feel like that. Obviously, nobody knows the card. We've been hearing rumors and all that stuff. Obviously, we won't even know the main event, what it seems like, until either Royal Rumble or Elimination Chamber, depending on if there's a surprise return. But I'm just thinking, what match could you put on the show that needs no heat, needs nothing? Obviously, you have the story there. You can give them a solid 15 minutes and just go out. That's a perfect match for it. And obviously, the fans will want to see it.
That'd be great. And notice that they didn't really do a whole lot of interacting too. So maybe they might be planning for that.
Yeah,
I can definitely see that for sure. I think that was even mentioned on TV at one point. But anyhow, a lot of takeaways for this match. I thought the in-ring action was good. I think the girls worked their tails off otherwise. Asuka impressed. It was just fun seeing her live. And just WWE allowed her to do what she can do. It's just really, really awesome.
Were you in attendance?
I was there. I was in Boston for that.
I thought so. Okay.
Yeah, I was there.
When you said live, I thought about it and I was like, wait a second. I feel like I remember seeing pictures of him.
Yeah. So it was pretty cool. The Boston crowd was pretty good. I mean, I've been in louder.
Is that your first time at the TD?
No, that was my fourth WWE event at TD.
Okay.
So let me see. It was Royal Rumble 03, SummerSlam 06, Royal Rumble 2011, Money in the Bank 2014. So this has been my fifth pay-per-view.
Nice.
So I only go up
I've yet to go to a single pay-per-view.
Oh man. Well, listen. You may have your opportunity even sooner. I'm hearing Detroit could be the potential host city of WWE SummerSlam. Me and a couple guys are already talking about it. Thinking about
I know, and I missed
a road trip.
SummerSlam last year being in Nashville, which is only 5-hour drive for me too. So
wow, that's not bad. Well, Detroit is about a 14-hour drive for us. But
yeah,
I think it'll be pretty cool to do a road trip, just kind of hang out with the guys and chill. And then I think maybe what's talked about is doing a Detroit Tigers game. That'll be my 22nd stadium if we do it. So yeah, and that's in Philly. Philly will be here before you know it.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
I'm excited for that one.
Oh, a lot of good stuff coming up. I mean, everything is basically going to be good here on end on the Triple H era. So this is like the best booked Survivor Series all around that I've seen in over 10 years
I
for
think that's the
sure.
thing is that, you know, you kind of, and this obviously we'll get right back into the Survivor Series, but going off what you just said, you can't really go into a WWE pay-per-view anymore thinking, oh, I'm not going to get my money's worth. It seems like every single pay-per-view, obviously the weekly shows are still kind of hit and miss, but every single pay-per-view seems to have really understood the assignment, I guess, if that makes sense. Like they're entertaining, they're fun, there are a lot of hard-hitting matches, there's surprise moments. The last few pay-per-views since Triple H took over have been really good.
Night and day. And the WWE Raws and SmackDowns are booked with more importance. I mean, heck, they did a tournament for the World Cup on SmackDown with these like singles matches that
I don't want to talk about the World Cup.
Yeah, we won't talk about the real World Cup, but the WWE World Cup, they had all these single matches, which would normally kind of be fillers, for the show, but WWE and Triple H decided to make a tournament for a number one contender for the Intercontinental Championship, which culminated last night with Ricochet defeating Santos Escobar, which was an amazing match, by the way. So, but leading up, the WWE, like these matches on SmackDown were built with importance. Like I love seeing stuff like this. I love seeing like little tournaments in between, and we're gonna see a lot more of that. It just makes matchups feel more important, which I like.
Yeah, and that's the thing is it actually feels like things
matter
are more important. Yeah, things matter. You know, storylines matter. The little things. Obviously, we still don't really know where the Bray Wyatt storyline's going, but like the little hints and stuff that come on like during Alexa Bliss's entrances and like other stuff. Like there are little things. Even the Dexter Lumis storyline has been hit and miss, but it's still intriguing enough because there's stuff going on in different scenes. Yeah, I'm looking at this from a movie perspective, but like stuff that's not involving Dexter Lumis or The Miz, there's still hints of their feud and what's going on there in the background or in the foreground or whatever. So I like that a lot.
Yeah, and so everything that WWE's done, and sometimes it hit, sometimes it missed, but everything that WWE's done, they've tried to make everything matter, which I absolutely love and I've been enjoying. And notice that Triple H and Paul Heyman have been booking everything. They try to book everything as fresh as possible. Like we're not seeing the same exact thing week to week to week to week, like we were prior to Triple H coming in. Like it was just getting rough for a long time. Like they're getting the same matchup, the same 6-man every single week.
Every
Ad
week,
nauseum.
man.
It was not good. It was tough. It was tough to do review shows on some of this, to be honest with you. That's how
it was
bad
tough
it
to
was
convince
getting.
yourself to watch wrestling.
The 2020, the 2020 era, the Thunderdome era, did not make it
we don't
any
talk
easier.
about. We don't.
And that was our first year. That was our first year doing this podcast.
We don't talk about that. That time, I try to just block out of my memory. Also, I apologize for how stuffy I sound. I'm pushing through though.
Anyway, we have our second matchup of the night. I believe I'm doing this right off the top of my head. I don't have like it exactly out here, but I believe the second match of the night was AJ Styles against Finn Balor. We caught a very, very good one-on-one match. AJ Styles with the win, a much needed win here because Finn Balor and Judgment Day have been getting the one up on AJ Styles and the OC for pretty much the most of the last 2 months now. Every single week, AJ OC getting laid out in the ring or backstage. But we see AJ get the win here. He finally got the one up on Finn Balor. Great match. The fans were digging it. What did you think of this one?
Yeah, I mean, when you put Finn Balor and AJ Styles in the ring together, you kind of expect magic. And I think that's what we got. We got a really good, hard-hitting, storyline-filled match that I think kind of leaves the door open for some more. The crazy thing is, as you mentioned it, I think I remember seeing that this was Styles' first pay-per-view win in like 2 years. His last one was like with Omos as the tag team titles. That's crazy.
Wow.
But yeah, it was a great match. I really enjoyed a lot of the spots. A lot of the little callbacks to like some of their New Japan days and some of the stuff that they did in that, obviously with the correlation to the Bullet Club. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to seeing if these two go at it again.
For sure. If I'm not mistaken, the third matchup of the night was the SmackDown Women's Title match. Was that the third or the fourth? I forget. I didn't even look that up today.
It was the third.
Okay, I sort of figured.
We don't want to talk about that one.
Yeah, you know what? See, here's the thing. You had Ronda Rousey and Shotzi declared the number one contender. I mean, in the beginning when they first booked this thing, it was cool to see like a fresh face go against Rousey. But on the other hand, you knew that Shotzi Blackheart was not winning this title off of Ronda Rousey. It was not happening. And having that in the back of my head took the interest away from me out of this match to be invested. Did I watch the whole match? Did I get yes? Did I go to the bathroom? No. There were people that started going to the bathroom. But Ronda Rousey's title run's been kind of lackluster because I mean, what did she have to do? What did she have to do from here? Like, what did she have to do from here? She's been the UFC Women's Champion. She's not that good in the WWE style ring. I just, but on the other hand, it's not believable for somebody like Shotzi to beat Ronda Rousey. And like, if we're talking about real life here, not believable at all. She needs to get away from the title. I think she kind of has a little bit of go away heat with me at this point. Same thing with Charlotte. She has go away and stay away heat from me. She's a great wrestler, but she's got the stay away heat. She's got to stay away from the title scene.
On that one.
She's got to stay away from the title. Liv Morgan would have made more sense winning that 6-pack challenge match to get her much deserved rematch and to beat Ronda Rousey. Just the way they've been booking Liv Morgan, being like the one who enjoys pain, and she's been a little more hardcore. She's got the look. She's been okay on the mic. It would have been more believable to get her revenge and kind of just like, even though like she lost a month ago and winning it back, so there would have been a couple week interruption there in between two title reigns. But it could have been a good way to help elevate Liv Morgan a little bit. I think Liv Morgan would have been more interesting to have in that spot for sure. They didn't build Shotzi enough for that. So the fan interest wasn't there. This match was kind of just there. Moving on. The triple threat match, we had Seth Rollins versus Bobby Lashley. Seth Rollins defended against Bobby Lashley and Austin Theory, which you can argue this match should probably be match of the night. Great triple threat match, and we got a surprise winner here. What did you think?
Yeah. This was kind of honestly the one I was looking forward to the most. I knew that the following match that we'll get into would deliver, and I thought that this match would be really good. Obviously, it's kind of three different styles with Theory, Lashley, and Rollins, and I think they all played off each other really well. Obviously, Bobby is just, props to Bobby Lashley. I mean, in his, I guess like since the time he's been moved away, since Lio Rush, his second run has just been incredible. He's been obviously WWE champion. He's had some fantastic matches with Lesnar. This is kind of a revitalizing part of his career, and I really enjoy it. But yeah, man, you mentioned the surprise winner. I kind of forget how it all went down, but basically we
Oh,
see
so what
Theory
happened
kind of
was
steal the.
Seth Rollins had Austin Theory lifted up in the air, kind of like in a suplex position. I think like Seth Rollins was about to do a Falcon Arrow, if I'm not mistaken, and then Bobby Lashley came out of nowhere, sparing Seth Rollins. Bobby Lashley kind of rolls out of the way there
Yeah,
because like he was like knocked out from the spear or whatever.
yeah,
And
yeah.
then when the way Austin Theory landed, he was able to
Just kind of fall over
roll
him. Yeah,
and roll onto Seth Rollins to get the pinfall there.
yeah,
Seth Rollins being down from the spear. Austin Theory got the 1, 2, 3.
yeah. I know a lot of people did not like that, and I don't see why. Do Seth and Bobby really need a big win? Not that obviously I'd still like to see one of them still hold the title, but Theory kind of needed that big moment, and to beat arguably two of the top 100 wrestlers of all time, at least in WWE, like it's pretty good. I enjoyed this match a lot.
And you notice, I don't know if you saw the next night on Raw, WWE is taking a little bit more of a serious approach with Austin Theory.
Which it
Just
should.
not doing that.
Get rid of
you
the
know,
selfie
look
stuff.
at-
Yeah.
yeah.
Get rid of all of it.
Besides, that was
Let
Tyler
him-
Breeze's thing with the selfie stick.
Yeah, and honestly, it fits him a lot better. Theory's a good wrestler. Like the dude can go in the ring, and I know we've
He
talked
can.
about it. Like this is the kind of guy that you could see superstar written all over, in the future. And I clearly think that is what WWE sees too.
I was thinking this. I see it. It just he's got to grow more. But I can see Austin Theory being, as long as he stays out of trouble. I can see Austin Theory being one of the main guys throughout the WrestleMania 40s, along with guys like Braun Breaker too, as well. Braun Breaker. I could see a Braun Breaker Austin Theory main event WrestleMania. It's somewhere
I would
down the
not be
line
disappointed
within
with
the next 5
that.
to 10 years. With the next 5 to 10 years, it's gonna happen. If Roman Reigns will be doing what John Cena is doing, making those random
really.
pay-per-view appearances. Roman's only got a couple years left on him. I think he wants to do other things, but that's neither here or there. But yeah, Austin Theory was great that night. The triple threat was good, one of the best I've seen in a long time. And then now this was just the really, really good appetizer to the main event, which we had the men's war game. Yeah, man. We had the Bloodline with Sami Zayn against Drew McIntyre, Kevin Owens, and the Brawling Brutes. And I would say that the women's war game match was a little, excuse me. I would say the women's war game match was a little bit better than a men's war game match here. From a story standpoint, though, I got to say that the men's war game match was the better out of the two because of the story progression that we got. Now, the Bloodline storyline is probably one of the best storylines that we've seen. I can't tell you when, Tommy. First, I think you and I can both agree that the Bloodline storyline is the best storyline going right now, and maybe all of wrestling.
I don't think it's maybe. I think it is easy.
Yeah. So we had that, and then but like maybe the best storyline in like past 5 years or so. I can't remember.
But, at least. I mean, 5 years, and you have to think of how long this lasted, too. SummerSlam 2020?
This has basically been brewing since the middle of 2020, yes.
There you go.
Yeah. But this has been an excellent storyline, and this storyline just gained more legs to it because during the match, actually, let's take a step back. Prior to the match, we see Jey Uso sitting down with Roman Reigns, questioning Roman Reigns about, can we trust Sami Zayn? Sami Zayn lied to me, but then Roman Reigns told Jey Uso, listen, I looked Sami in the eyes, and I found out everything we needed to know. So they came in as a united front into this match. Roman Reigns and everybody are in the ring at this point. And it came down to Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens at one point. and they're about to go at it. They're drawing back and forth. Jey Uso throws a super kick, which Kevin Owens catches. And then while Kevin Owens is distracted, you see Sami Zayn go in with the low blow, giving Kevin Owens a low blow. And Kevin goes down to the ground. He makes sure to see that Roman Reigns is watching what's going on, and Jay. And then you see Sami Zayn follow that up with the Helluva kick. And then Sami Zayn's like, here you go, Jay. Finish him off. And Jey Uso goes to the top rope with the frog splash, getting the win there. So Kevin Owens takes the pinfall. Jey Uso gets the win for the bloodline. So now this, and then after the match, you see Jey Uso all excited and finally hugging Sami Zayn. For Sami Zayn, basically on multiple occasions helping out Jey Uso, throughout the match, and you see them hugging it out. So this just adds another layer to this storyline, which I'm excited about because it's gonna, as time goes on, it's gonna make the turn that much better of whoever turns on who.
Yeah.
But I believe Bloodline is going to be the one to turn on Sami Zayn at some point. Even Kevin Owens in his interviews, especially on Monday night, telling Sami Zayn the Bloodline's they're going to turn on you. They're not family. Yada yada yada. So basically, WWE through Kevin Owens promos basically telling you what's going to happen if you read in between the lines. So I'm expecting that turn there. But it makes things a little bit more complicated now because now you see Sami Zayn and the Usos on a united front. But I don't know if you noticed Raw and SmackDown. It seems like there's a little bit of, it might be a little like they dropped some hints there with Jey Uso questioning Jimmy. And Jey Uso was like, I'm still not sure. And then Jimmy Uso reminded Jay, hey, listen, of what Sammy did for Jay the other night. And then Jay is like, yo, you're right. So little hints there of, the beginnings of what could be more cracks in the foundation later on. So what do you think of this storyline?
It is we hit it on the head. Like it's the best storyline we've seen in quite a long time. I think you said it right. Like this match just adds another layer to it, and I mean even if you kind of look at it like with Solo kind of not being associated with Jay, Jimmy, and Sammy, kind of just like standing to the side, arms crossed. So I'm wondering how he'll interact in this. But yeah, man, this is phenomenal storytelling right here. That's been going on from both eras, Vince and Triple H. So yeah, it's been great.
Yeah, no, this has been great. I'm excited. Like I'm excited when I watch like SmackDown and we see Sami Zayn pick up a win last night with the help of the Usos. So I'm excited to see how this all unfolds. But so moving on, that basically covers Survivor Series. We're on the road to the Royal Rumble. We've been hearing many things about Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns being pissed off at Kevin Owens because of a slap that Roman Reigns took to the face. Something that supposedly wasn't supposed to happen. And then I'm hearing rumors that maybe that the plan that they had with Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens for their main event at the Royal Rumble for the title match is now being scrapped. All these wrestling websites are making up things, so we really don't know what to believe or what the main event's going to be. How they maybe they're going to plug Sheamus into the spot, which is what I originally thought they were probably going to do. So we have to see what happens there. I haven't really gotten any good information on that, but we do know Roman Reigns was unhappy, but then after like 20-30 minutes, cooler heads prevailed. So we'll have to see what happened from there. I can't imagine that match not happening because of that scenario, though.
Yeah, it would happen somewhere down the line, you'd think.
I'm sure, Triple H wants Kevin Owens in a prominent spot, and I'm sure Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns are both gentlemen and that they probably worked it out. And these dirt sheets just want to make stuff up. That's where I'm really leaning more towards. So
No,
we'll
I agree
see.
with you. I agree with you.
Rumors going around that The Rock could be the special entrance to the Royal Rumble and win the
I hope
Rumble,
so.
setting up Rock versus Roman Reigns. But we'll have to see how that plays out. I would have loved to have seen The Rock show up on stage at the end of Survivor Series. That would have been great.
Yeah.
To maybe challenge Roman Reigns. But then I'm hearing stuff where Roman Reigns may defend the title twice, night 1, night 2. Cody Rhodes, I mean, a lot of people think he might show up at the Rumble. I mean, the timeline was originally set up for him to show up to be able to come back around late March, which would have not really been enough time to set up a build for Mania, which is why I'm thinking I'm still for now I'm sticking to it that we probably won't see Cody Rhodes till the night after WrestleMania. I would say at the latest. We could see him at Royal Rumble if he's good enough to go. He has to get cleared and everything, and that would be 2 months early. So I'm not sure if we see Cody Rhodes there in that spot. But time will tell on that. Tommy, you went to AEW Dynamite Wednesday night. How was the show?
It was good, man.
You had some good seats.
Yeah, dude. 2 rows away. It was just fun, man. It's always fun to go to a wrestling show, and obviously AEW's kind of been on a downturn in the last few months, but this was a really good show. Dax Harwood versus Bryan Danielson was really good. Obviously, we got the best of 7 between the Elite and Death Triangle going on. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I'll never complain about sitting second row.
How do you feel about MJF's title run so far? We saw MJF win the title, which we haven't covered as a podcast yet because we've been kind of like floundering the last couple of weeks. But we see MJF win the title, no surprise there. And by the way, I called it. If those of you guys that are watching, if you guys go back to our Twitter, maybe like 5 to no more than 10 Twitter status is back. I called it the day of or the day before that AEW kept on hinting that with the storytelling that William Regal saying MJF saying himself, I don't need no diamond ring to win the match. And then I'm thinking to myself, he ain't gonna need no diamond ring because he's gonna need something else. And I'm thinking brass knucks. And sure enough, we got William Regal sliding in the brass knucks to help MJF get the win in the Prudential Center in MJF's backyard, as New Jersey is relatively close to Long Island. Anyhow, we see MJF get the win, all for this Wednesday for William Regal to get the big thank you, stabbing the back
Loved
with MJF,
Loved it.
slamming him from behind. Now there's a lot of talks in wrestling rumors that there's the possibility of William Regal coming back to WWE. Do you think that this occurrence on Wednesday had anything to do with that?
Yeah, it makes sense. And obviously there was still some legs to the whole Regal MJF thing, and kind of cutting it off after a week, 2 weeks is kind of shows me that that's what they're doing. So yeah, I liked Regal in AEW. I think he did well, and it'll be cool to see him back in WWE, especially if he gets to say War Games next year.
Yes, and even like Triple H said even Triple H said on Twitter said that he missed William Regal's saying War Games and stuff. So that should be pretty interesting to see. But so yeah, AEW. I don't know if I would say AEW on the downturn. I think the MJF storyline is kind of helped AEW kind of keep the fan interest. And
the only thing about that is that
we're still getting some banger matches.
Yeah, it's the only thing is that they keep trying to tell you that MJF's a heel, and the crowd just wants to cheer him. So it's a kind of like back and forth between the crowd and booking. But no, I agree with you. I think the AEW is still doing good for itself.
Now, I saw a video of and pictures of what you posted the other night, and we put it on the Aftermath podcast Instagram. But I saw and I couldn't help but notice that crowd looked very light in attendance. Is that true?
Yeah, the crowd was pretty light.
Now,
It's kind
where
of
was
like our
this?
backup arena, not where the Pacers play. It's where our like.
So in the backup arena, they didn't even pack out half of that arena.
No, I don't think so.
So how many people were there? Like 5,000?
Yeah, 5,000-6,000. Yeah.
They would have benefited with a little bit of pipe noise in there because it got
Trust
quiet
me.
at times.
Oh, trust me. I imagine.
It got quiet
But it
at
was still
times on
fun to be there
TV.
in attendance.
Yeah. So I hope that's not what you mean by downturn as far as attendance goes. But that was a pretty light attendance, so not gonna lie. But
Good old
anyhow,
Indiana.
is this like the normal trend over there?
No. No.
Okay.
Not for SmackDown when it was here like 2 weeks ago. That was packed. And that was at
Gotcha.
Gamebridge, which is where the Pacers play. This is where like our like not NHL but like ECHL hockey team plays or something. So
Yeah. So WWE Survivor Series drew for that arena. Apparently, drew a record crowd for that arena. A record gate as far as dollars amount that they brought in for ticket revenue. I think highest viewership for WWE Survivor Series. So they broke a lot of records this last Sunday.
And it
The
delivered.
arena was full. There was no blackout. There was no blackout covers on any of the high sections. The only blackout covers there was is kind of like it's like sort of behind the Titantron, where you wouldn't be able to see like the ring entrances, like if those seats were open. But yeah, so it was basically a full sellout. Rarely any empty seats. Barely any empty seats. Good crowd. So it was a good draw. WWE's in good hands right now. They're doing good. They just got to keep the momentum going.
I know. I fully agree with you, man. Wrestling is back.
Yeah, I mean, and we just kind of hope that AEW sticks around and gets better. And I would love to see. It would be good for business if, first off, if Triple H and Tony Khan could get along. But it would be good for business to maybe have a little crossover with some WWE guys going over to AEW, and vice versa. Do a little crossover feud. Maybe even lead it into next year's War Games. Have your top AEW guys versus the top WWE guys. Let's go.
Could you imagine?
Let's go. Get the Elite out there. Get the Elite versus the Bloodline. Let's do it.
I'm here for it.
It's an easy story to tell. And I think that would help AEW benefit too from it too as well. So that pretty much covers all the wrestling that we're talking about for the week. This is 100 episodes. Man, what a run this has been. And for our faithful viewers, we just want to thank you guys for hanging in with us every single week for the last 2.5 years. I mean, we're going to have another milestone episode in about 4 months from now. It'll be the 3-year anniversary. And that would kick off season 4. I mean, this year has been a pretty big year. We opened up a Pro Wrestling Tees website. So we have a store where you can buy some of our shirts. We have an online website which is up and running, and slowly we're getting the ball rolling with that. We've increased subscribers. We tripled our subscribers over 2021, and we're hoping to do that again in 2023, tripling what we got again. Which is just a lot of work on social media. But our followers have grown. We've each individually grown, myself since episode 1. If you guys want to look at episode 1 and watch how I talk then compared to now, it's a big difference. Tommy, Joe, Gage, we've all kind of found our footing as time's gone along. And 100 episodes, man, I'm excited for what the next 100 episodes are going to be and going forward. But yeah, it's been a good ride.
Yeah, man. The ride just got to keep going.
It's been a good ride. So we just want to take the time to thank you guys for your support. we try to put the best show out possible, even if it's one person watching at the time, or if it's 200 people watching at one time, which we've had before. So we try to put on the best show possible regardless. And anyway, couple things coming up. We have our year in review episode, which will take place in about 3 weeks from now. Maybe, yeah. We're gonna figure that out because Christmas and New Year's, they both land on the weekend. We're gonna figure that out, but we are gonna do a year in review show as well. From there, we'll be kicking off Royal Rumble season. That'll be the next pay-per-view that we do. We'll definitely do a prediction show for that, a post show for that. Hopefully we get Frank Manzo on for the Royal Rumble post show. And so a lot of good stuff. We're getting close to WrestleMania season. We just got to get to the Rumble. But once the Rumble's here, it's game on, and I cannot wait.
Best part of the wrestling year, man.
2023, we're hoping to get back into the original routine of Raw post show, SmackDown post show, the podcast for the week, the year in reviews. So all that stuff coming in 2023. So just keep your ears open, and guys, please help us out. Comment, do a like on our video, comment. And on the podcast, go on Spotify, go on Apple, and do the review. Give us 5 stars. That helps us out a lot and help us keep the ball rolling. And don't forget, we have our T-shirts online. It helps us kind of with the financial aspect of our podcast. And that link is there, scrolling right there on the bottom, ProWrestlingTees.com. So Tommy, do you have any last minute things you want to add before we go off the air?
Man, I'm just excited. You're running down what the next few months look like. Man, I'm just excited for the fact that we're getting into the best time of the wrestling year right now. This is great.
Yeah, I'm excited too. This is going to be our third WrestleMania, because we started our podcast right after WrestleMania. WrestleMania 36, right after that, like that month we started our podcast, and I think we even did a couple unofficial shows beforehand. But yeah, we started that month, so we're gonna be hitting 3 official years coming up this April. So excited, and yeah, I mean that's like a marathon week. This would be our third marathon week coming up, so I can't wait for that. That's going to be awesome. But anyhow, guys, thank you so much. This is 100 episodes in the book. And just to let you guys know, I'm totally grateful for those of you guys that are watching right now. And I can't wait for what the next 100 episodes are going to bring. I mean, in our first episodes, even our first 25 episodes, we had ECW champion Justin Credible. 60th episode, we had Chris Van Vliet in episode 63, I believe. We've had Frank Manzo on. So we've done a lot within these 100 episodes. So I cannot wait for the next 100 episodes. And yeah, man, those of you guys that are watching, thank you so much. And we will see you guys very, very soon. Tommy, to everybody watching, catch you guys later.
From the champion.